Welcome to our last episode of SNEED-CAST Industry Update for 2025. If you've been with us for a while, you already know the drill, but if you're tuning in for the first time, welcome. We break down the stories shaping our industry so you can stay ahead of the curve without having to dig through the noise. Let's get into what's making headlines this week. I'm your host Alexa, and today we'll discuss topics ranging from the growing impact of tariffs on global supply chains and the future of last-mile delivery to new food traceability regulations reshaping manufacturing and major labor opposition to a proposed $85 billion rail merger. Tea tariffs that once fueled revolution are now creating financial strain across the U.S. tea industry. Tariffs imposed during President Trump's administration significantly increased costs for tea importers and sellers. Industry leaders say orders slowed and profit margins tightened as tariffs worked their way through the supply chain. It took a while for these tariffs to work their way into the system, and it will take a while for them to work their way out, said Bruce Richardson, tea master and historian at Elmwood Inn Fine Teas. Small and specialty tea businesses have been hit hardest due to limited pricing flexibility and cash reserves. Retailers have reduced product selections because some imported teas are no longer economically viable. Tea companies are delaying hiring, marketing, and expansion in order to cover rising import duties. The money I've spent on tariffs could equal a new employee, said Hartley Johnson, owner of Mark T. Wendell Tea Company. Johnson's popular Taiwanese tea, Huqua, jumped from $26 to $46 per pound due to tariff cost. Johnson said customers are now reaching a tipping point where higher prices are affecting purchasing decisions. Even with partial tariff rollback, many businesses say relief will be slow because already imported inventory was taxed. Tariffs also apply to tea accessories like canisters, whisks, and packaging materials, compounding total costs. Everything that we import and sell has been affected by tariffs, said Gilbert Sang, owner of Mem Tea Imports. Tea is the second most consumed beverage in the world after water, yet the U.S. produces very little of it domestically. For more than 150 years, tea entered the U.S. largely duty-free until recent tariff policy shifts. By July of 2025, average tea tariffs rose to over 12%, up from roughly 0.1% the year before. U.S. businesses and consumers paid more than $6 million in tea import taxes in a single month. During the first 7 months of 2025, tea tariffs totaled approximately $19.6 million, nearly 7 times higher than the previous year. We don't have an industry and can't produce one overnight, said Angela McDonald, president of the U.S. League of Tea Growers. Los Angeles-based International Tea Importers Incorporated shut down, citing unpredictable tariff policies as the final barrier to survival. Amazon is in the discussion with the U.S. Postal Service about the future of their long-standing delivery relationship. The talks come as Amazon considers its options ahead of the current contract's expiration in October of 2026. Reports indicate Postmaster General David Steiner plans a reverse auction in early 2026 that could open postal facilities to competitive bids rather than granting direct access to Amazon. The reverse auction proposal would require Amazon to compete with national retail brands and regional shipping firms for access to USPS infrastructure. In 2025, Amazon was the Postal Service top customer, providing more than $6 billion in annual revenue. That $6 billion in revenue accounted for about 7.5% of the U.S. Postal Service's total sales in 2025. Amazon said it continues to discuss ways to extend and expand its partnership with the Postal Service. Amazon Express surprised the USPS plans to hold an auction after nearly a year of negotiations. The company said there is still a lot to work through as discussions continue. Amazon noted that the relationship with USPS began more than 30 years ago and that it hopes to extend it. The Washington Post reported that Amazon may be preparing to expand its own nationwide delivery network. The potential shift could see Amazon handling more deliveries internally rather than relying on the Postal Service. Industry observers say losing Amazon's business would be a major blow to the Postal Service's financial outlook. Postal officials have not immediately commented on the negotiated discussions or auction plans. The uncertainty around the future relationship has raised questions about operational impacts for both Amazon's delivery network and USPS logistics planning. The FDA has extended the compliance deadline for FSMA Section 204 from January 20th of 2026 to June 20th of 2028, giving food companies more time to prepare. Even with the extension, FSMA 204's requirements will fundamentally reshape food safety and traceability throughout the supply chain. The rule is intended to improve how quickly contaminated food can be identified and removed from circulation. Manufacturers, not distributors, hold the most comprehensive product data, including initial lot codes and final traceability information. Because most food undergoes transformation during manufacturing, that is where traceability must start to be effective. Distributors often have more financial resources than smaller manufacturers, but solving traceability at the distribution level misses where the core data originates. The food traceability list currently targets specific high-risk foods, but compliance requirements are already expanding beyond that list due to retailer demands. Major retailers are pushing suppliers to provide traceability on all products, not just those covered under FSMA's list, increasing pressure on manufacturers. Traceability lot codes recorded at the case level can disappear once products are broken into individual units, making detailed item-level tracking essential. One practical solution discussed is the use of QR codes to provide consumers and supply chain partners with transparency into product history. Implementing item-level traceability in a cost-effective way presents challenges, especially when the economics of inexpensive food items are considered. Building traceability during the manufacturing process is more cost-efficient than trying to add it later in distribution centers. Successful compliance will require interoperable data systems across supply chain partners while safeguarding sensitive supplier information. Improved traceability can reduce waste during recalls by pinpointing exactly which products are affected instead of relying on broader removal methods. FSMA 204 additionally reinforces the need for standardized electronic data interchange formats to support traceability across the food sector. Manufacturers are being encouraged to invest in technologies that can encode traceability information efficiently as a competitive advantage. Distributors should partner with technology experts to manage complex traceability data without disrupting existing supplier relationships. Starting traceability at the source, including assigning lot codes and key data elements during manufacturing, will be critical to meeting FSMA 204 standards before full enforcement begins. Two major rail unions are opposing the proposed $85 billion merger between Union Pacific and Norfolk Southern. The Brotherhood of Locomotive Engineers and Trained Men and the Brotherhood of Maintenance of Way Employees Division represent more than half of the combined company's union workforce. The unions say the merger poses serious risk to rail safety, worker protections, and shipping costs. Union leaders argue consolidation could lead to longer trains, reduced staffing, and increased accident risks. The railroads claim the merger would create the nation's first coast-to-coast freight railroad. Company executives say a combined network would improve efficiency and help rail compete with long-haul trucking. Shareholders of both companies approved the deal, with more than 99% voting in favor. The unions say shareholder approval does not address frontline worker safety or service reliability concerns. The Teamsters Union has said it will oppose any deal that threatens jobs or weakens labor protections. Some labor groups reversed early opposition after receiving assurances, while others remain firmly against the merger. Rival railroad BNSF has raised concerns and encouraged regulators to closely examine the proposal. Lawmakers have urged the Surface Transportation Board to scrutinize the deal's impact on competition and freight pricing. Critics warn the merger could give a single railroad significant control over U.S. freight traffic. Rail unions say safety guarantees and enforceable labor protections must be resolved before any support is possible. And starting off this week's recall radar, we have Charlevoix Cheese Company that is recalling their milk cheddar cheese due to potential contamination with Listeria mitocinogens, a serious foodborne pathogen. We also have Reboost and Clear Life nasal sprays that are being recalled after testing for found yeast, mold, and microbial contamination above acceptable levels. Publix has recalled its raspberry coffee cake because walnuts were not declared on the ingredient label, posing a risk to consumers with tree nut allergies. And our final one, we have Dannon US that's recalling select So Delicious non-dairy frozen desserts due to the possible presence of foreign materials like stones or other hard objects. This episode of SNEED-CAST is brought to you by the SNEEDJet Titan tabletop printer. Built for operations moving from manual to semi-automated coding, the Titan features a horizontal traversing print head with print heights up to 1/2 inch. It's easy to use. Load a cartridge, create your message, position your product, and trigger the print with a foot pedal to add information in seconds. With solvent and water-based inks available in multiple colors, the Titan prints on porous, semi-porous, and non-porous materials across a wide range of packaging applications. That's it for this week's episode of SNEED-CAST Industry Update, but the conversation doesn't stop here. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and don't forget to hit the notification bell to stay up to date. We want to hear from you. Drop a comment and let us know what topics you'd like to see us dive into next. Until then, stay curious, stay informed, and we'll catch you in on the next one. Happy holidays, everyone. Bye.